Hi everyone! So I haven't made a video in a while, and I thought why not make one for you now, because I've been going through quite a lot and I really think that I have some wisdom to share with you guys from my experiences, and I thought why not share it now. As you can see, my face is barely recognizable from all the cortisone. I've got chubby cheeks that I can't stop pinching. They're really cute and funny. And I've got a nice double chin here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to starting to coming off the cortisone, because obviously these things will go down a bit and I can feel more like myself. Because, you know, getting a bit of roid rage every now and then, but aggressive, but irritable, and yeah, the physical effects as well. But I'm also nervous because I know that the cortisone has helped me a lot with the swelling on my brain, so I'm also nervous about coming off it. But yeah, mixed feelings, but we'll see how it goes. So what I want to talk to you about today is bravery, positivity, and being strong. Everybody thinks that I'm so strong. Everybody says I'm so brave. Everybody says I'm so positive. And everybody expects me to be positive all the time. And the reality is that I'm just not. I'm absolutely terrified. I think it would be normal for anyone to be terrified in this situation. And there's a lot of pressure on me to keep being positive, and that is really hard, and I'm trying not to put that pressure on myself. You will be surprised if you visit me that there's really only one rule when you visit, and that rule is that Keisha is allowed to cry. Because I am dealing with something that is so terrifying that sometimes I do need to cry, and sometimes I need to let it out. And it's better out than in. So let's talk about that a little bit. So my radiotherapy and chemotherapy is coming to an end in the next couple of weeks. And after my radiotherapy, I have to wait 2 months before I can have an MRI, which will tell us what the tumor is doing. Is the tumor shrinking? Is it getting bigger? Is it going into the brainstem now? Is it whatever? Whatever the scary bastard does. This glioblastoma is one hell of a cancer. It's very unpredictable. So what's going to happen is I'm sitting for 2 months waiting and not knowing. Not knowing is worse than knowing something. So what I want to do is actually take my mind off it a little bit. And what I decided to do was to plan little things to be excited about in the meanwhile. And hopefully that could keep my mind in a positive space, because I've actually been feeling quite down lately. You know, my mood hasn't been great and my anxiety has been quite high. I haven't been sleeping very well. And with the cortisone, the chemotherapy and radio, the combination of those can send you into manic episodes if you are prone to that. And I am prone to cyclical bipolar, so I do go into hypomanias. So with the lack of sleep, and also I've been enjoying a little bit of online shopping, this tells me that I could be going into hypomanic state. And so I've been to my psychiatrist and I've upped my meds. Towards the end of last year, I actually came off medication with, I was doing medication and therapy. The therapy went really well, and so I was able to come off my medication, and I had, by the end of last year, no depression and no anxiety. It was absolutely amazing. I hadn't had a panic attack in 2 years. So I was doing really well. I was on Venlafaxine, or venlafaxine. I was on Epitech, and I had Dorminoc to sleep, and I had Alzam for anxiety attacks, which I didn't use Alzam for a long time, and Dorminoc I didn't need anymore because I trained myself to sleep by listening to meditation every night, and it was amazing. Lately, I can listen to 3 or 4 meditations and still not fall asleep. So I've decided that the best thing to do is to go back on meds, because you can do really not good things when you're in a hypomanic state, and also in depressive state. And last thing I need right now is to go into depression. So the meds that I'm on now, towards the end of last year, I came off venlafaxine. I had the worst withdrawal symptoms you could imagine. I won't even go into it, but it was intense, it was insane, it was dangerous. It was the worst thing I've ever been through in my life, just besides this glioblastoma. And I was actually going to get a tattoo to symbolize my victory over the venlafaxine. And then this happened, and now that I'm on the cortisone and the chemo and the radio, I can't get a tattoo, but I'm still thinking about getting a tattoo afterwards, after everything, all the treatments are finished, to symbolize my resilience and my strength, because I've been through a lot and I've gotten through it, and I'm getting through this. So I'd like to do that, get a tattoo to symbolize it. And once I've had my MRI results, I also want to get a tattoo to symbolize whatever happens, you know. There's a Smiths song with a quote, "There is a light that never goes out," and I've always wanted that quote on me somewhere, and it seems even more pertinent right now. So I may get that somewhere, and maybe some Nordic or something tattoo that symbolizes resilience and strength, getting through things, victory over the Venlaw, and hopefully victory over this tumor. So anyway, I digress. So I've been making these little plans, and as you know, with glioblastoma, or you may not know, the average life expectancy from diagnosis is 6 months to 2 years. Only 3% of people make it past 3 years past diagnosis, so it's very scary. And I was planning my birthday party, and I was getting really excited. You know, I love birthdays. I'm going to be off my therapy. I can actually have maybe a couple of beers without worrying about the interaction with all my painkillers and the cortisone and the radiotherapy and everything and the chemo. But then suddenly I realized that this could be the last birthday party that I ever plan for myself. And then I started to get really upset. More upset than I am right now. It hits me in waves. Yeah. I actually got so upset that I had to take an Alzam to calm down. I couldn't calm down. I went straight into panic attack. I couldn't breathe. And I had to take something to calm down. Eventually I did calm down, and then I just carried on. Because what else can I do? I don't really have a choice. You know, I'm still alive. I can still move, kind of. I can still think. And I cannot sit in self-pity and learned helplessness. It's just not in me. A lot of other people may have given up by now and just laid in the bed and waited to die, but that is not me. So all I do is I carry on. And what the result is that I've been forced to live in the moment and enjoy every moment. And I am, and I'm so grateful for every moment. You know, it just happens when you're going through something like this. So what I want you to know is that when you're going through something difficult, let it out. Let your emotions out. Do not hold it in. If you hold it in and you keep bottling and you keep bottling and you keep bottling, you are going straight towards a mental breakdown, and you will end up in a clinic, in a mental health clinic. Or worse, you could end up killing yourself. And we don't want that. We don't want that. Yeah? So when these emotions overtake you and you are so upset about something, allow yourself to feel it. Sometimes we are so scared to feel it because we think if we feel everything, we might just die, because everything comes, and then everything adds up that you've been bottling up the whole time. It all comes together, and then you start thinking about all these other crazy things, what happened in the past, and it just all hits you, and you think that you cannot possibly survive feeling these feelings. But you can. It does pass. Just let yourself cry. Let it out. Wail. Let it out. Once you let it out, it gives you such a release that you can just carry on afterwards. I promise you, you have to believe me. You allow yourself to process it, you allow yourself to understand it, you allow yourself to look at it from a different perspective. And when you allow yourself to feel that, you can actually come out of it. So a lot of the time, I think depression and anxiety is a lot of holding this all in and trying to contain it, and you're trying to be normal, you're trying to act normal, you're trying to act positive. But why? Why do we do this? We want to look functional to other people. You don't want to burst out crying at work, you don't want to look like a mess, but why not? Why are you not allowed to burst out crying at work? Who cares? So Martin was retrenched, my boyfriend, from our office, and we had a phone call with the whole team, my whole team, and the phone call was on WebEx, so everybody could see my face, and they were trying to get us to now promote the new learning program of the new company that had taken over. And I was so upset because I thought, how can I do this when my boyfriend has just been retrenched? I can't do this. I don't believe in it. I feel terrible about it. My boyfriend is without a job. And I cried for a whole hour during that phone call in front of everybody. And it was fine. People understood. People realized what I was going through. And they empathized, and they gave me words of encouragement. And I actually felt so much better afterwards. If I hadn't have cried, they would never have given me words of encouragement. And I wouldn't have felt better afterwards. I would have just sat languishing in that pain. So, if you think that you have to be perfect, and you have to look like the perfect employee, and you have to be so positive, and you have to be so brave, screw that. If you want to cry, cry. Let it out. It's okay. It's really fine. And you will survive. You will get through it. I can get through it. You can get through it too. Okay? So you see, when I was telling you about my birthday, I got upset again, but it goes away. It comes in waves. Every day it hits me. Every day it hits me like a ton of bricks in different ways. Whether it's the disability, whether it's the prognosis, whether it's death, thinking about death, it hits me. It does. And I allow myself to cry, to let it out. It only lasts a couple of minutes, and then it goes away, and then I feel better. It's hard. It's really hard. And when everybody's expecting you to be brave and strong, it makes it harder. But if you have people there to support you, that will just allow you to let it out, that really helps. I'm not saying have a fucking pity party with your friends, but your friends are there to allow you to express your emotions, your true emotions in your heart, both positive and negative. And when you've gotten it out, they should be there to pick you up and make you smile. They shouldn't be there to keep you in that helpless state. If you've got friends that are constantly bringing your mood down by continuing on and on and on about things that are, problems, and making it into a bigger problem than it is and stuff like that, then it's going to influence your mindset. So you need to try and find positive people to have around you, but not just positive people, realists. I'm a realist. There's a huge difference between a positive person or an optimist and a realist. A realist knows the reality of what is happening but still manage to find a way to carry on. And that is all I'm doing. It's nothing brave. It's nothing strong. It's just that I have to continue, because what else can I do? I'm not going to lie in bed and give up. It's like really boring. You just try lying in bed for a week, okay? It's really, really boring. That's probably why I was making so many videos, and I was on Facebook so much, and I was on WhatsApp so much, because there's nothing else to do. And when I got out of hospital, everybody was asking me, why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? And the truth is that I actually had other stuff to do. I think when I was just lying in bed, I had nothing to do, and I was so bored that I was just on every social media possible. So for me, lying in bed and giving up is not an option, because I've always been such a busy person. So let's talk about that too. Emptying your cup. You only have one cup of energy, okay? And we tend to give that energy away quite readily to other people, especially if an empath or a caring person, which I know a lot of you are. If you care about other people, you give so much of yourself up for them. And what I've learned recently is that I don't need to laugh as hard to share my energy with other people. I don't need to talk loud for people to listen to me. And before, I used to talk very loud, I used to laugh very loud, everything was larger than life. And it doesn't need to be, because that takes so much of my energy, and my energy was just depleted every single day. And I had zero work-life balance, because I would get home and just sleep, because I was exhausted. I was giving energy to everybody else except myself. And I was pouring from an empty cup. I wasn't doing anything to put back into me. I was just giving to others. And that causes problems, yeah? Because then you get home and you don't have time for your partner because you're just sleeping. You don't have time to walk your dog. You don't have time to do the things that you should be doing with your family, cooking healthy meals, things like that. You end up eating a lot of takeaways or a lot of ready meals. You're not looking after your body. You're not going to gym because you're just so exhausted just from literally giving other people your energy. And why do I give other people my energy? Because I want to uplift others, and I want other people to be happy. And I see the impact when I'm upbeat and I'm having fun and I'm laughing. Other people get upbeat. But you know what? It's not your responsibility to make other people happy. They need to be happy for themselves. I was trying to make 250 people in our office happy. Me by myself, trying to lift up the mood of 250 people. And I think I was. I really do, but at what cost? At what cost in the end? The cost was my complete exhaustion. And the cost was that I've had a breakdown every year for the past 8 years. I've had compassion fatigue. I've been completely exhausted that I've had to take weeks off work to just get back to some sort of state where I could expend any energy at all. And this is what can happen to you. So you need to think carefully about how you're expending your energy and who are you expending your energy on. And is it really necessary to expend so much energy? And how are you filling up your cup? What are you doing to put back in? Here's some things that you can do to put back in, okay? You can meditate. You can do exercise. Yoga is really great. Pilates. Swimming. If you enjoy water, swimming can be so energizing. Yeah. I used to really enjoy going to like really hard boot camp classes because they really motivate you, and that kind of thing would be something that would put back into my life. Or I would go do dancing. So if you enjoy dancing, something like going to salsa or learning how to do belly dancing or something like that can really put back in. But remember, you're also expending energy, so you need to make sure that you're not overdoing it like I used to. I do everything hard. I don't do half measures. So when I was really exercising a lot, I was doing pole dancing. I was doing gym every day, pole dancing 3-4 times a week, gym every day, salsa twice a week. What else was I doing? I was doing some other type of dancing as well. I can't remember. And yeah, every day I had more than one thing on a day. And I don't know, I just pushed myself so hard. I was pulling muscles left, right, and center. And I was always covered in bruises from the pole. And I didn't care how much it hurts because I was just like, I push myself. It's just the nature of who I am. I just put maybe like 120% into everything I do. And what I've realized is that I don't have to do that. I really don't. I can still have an impact on this world without negatively impacting myself and my health. So, yeah, I want you guys to think about that, and I want you to think about, where are you expending too much energy? Where are you messing up your work-life balance? And how can you put back into that? What helps you to feel good and to put energy back into your life? Yeah? So anyway, I know this was a long video, but I'd love to hear your comments about what you think about letting it all out. Do you let it all out? Are you going to try? Do you think that things will pass, or do you think you'll be overwhelmed with emotions that you can't control? I want you to know it does pass. It does pass. Even in the worst case scenario, Martin told me about a guy that he knew that had glioblastoma, and only, he made it to 2 years after diagnosis, but then he passed away. And my whole body just shuddered, and I just started wailing and crying, and I just started shouting, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. And you know what? After 5 minutes, the feeling passed. And you can see on the video right now that I get that feeling. It only lasts a few seconds. And then it passes and I'm okay again. So I hope that you can see that I can get through something so terrifying, guys. So terrifying. You can get through things too. I know you can. It doesn't take somebody strong. It just takes somebody to keep on keeping on. Yeah? And it will pass. This too shall pass. It is true. It will pass. Okay, so I want to know in the comments if you're going to try that. And also tell me in the comments what you are going to do to put back into your glass instead of just taking out. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Well, you can. I used to. But you're going to mess up your life. It's not good. Alright, so guys, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know in the comments about the questions I asked, and let me know what you'd like me to talk about next. I'll be back soon with another video, and I hope that this helps you.